I'm 26 now, and it happened when I was 12. My parents left me home with my 18-year-old brother Zach for the night, and at first I was excited because it was just me in the big house, which felt like huge freedom at the time. Zach told me he was going out for a few hours with friends and made me promise not to tell Mom and Dad, which I agreed to because I trusted him, and also why wouldn't I want the place to myself? He would get in huge trouble if my parents were to find out, and he knew that. At first, I thought it would be fun to be alone, especially on a weekend night. I ended up in the den where I decided to watch a scary movie. At that age, while home alone, not the best idea, which I learned the hard way. I had never been home alone for this long before, especially at night, and honestly, halfway through the movie, I started getting scared. Not entirely because of the movie itself, but because of the way the house sounded. The random creaks in the floor, the wind brushing against the windows, even the fridge clicking on periodically. Every time the movie made a loud sound, I would flinch, and I would look over my shoulder to behind the couch to the half flight of stairs that led to the main floor, expecting to see someone there.
Let's be real.
Okay, bro.
Someone that you saw forever
Okay, already an ad?
The video just started.
Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't know why I was subjecting myself to scaring the crap out of myself. I turned off the TV and ran upstairs to my room like a scared little kid running from imaginary demons that follow you the second you turn off the lights. When I got to my room, I went into the bathroom that connected both to my room and my parents' bedroom, where I brushed my teeth as fast as I could and tried to calm down. After that, I went into my room to play Call of Duty Zombies on my Xbox 360, thinking it would make me a little less scared.
How is that gonna help?
Played for a few hours, losing track of time and focusing on the game. Eventually, my team and I died on zombies, and I got frustrated. I decided it was late and I should go to sleep, though. Not long after that point, I felt the vibration of the front door closing, and I assumed it was Zach coming back. I lay there awake, listening to the sounds of my brother moving around downstairs.
What are your brother, bro? That sounds like his whole turn.
Which was odd, because usually when he'd get home, he'd go right upstairs to his room. But there were weird sounds coming from downstairs for too long, where it started getting unusual. They were subtle, little footsteps or indescribable thumps and thuds. I felt my stomach start churning a little. That stupid idea to watch that scary movie was really getting to me.
No, I don't think
I got up and went to the window to look outside, expecting to see Zach's car in the driveway where he usually parked, but it wasn't there. That's when the real panic set in. I had no cell phone at the time. I was only 12, so I had no way to contact my parents or Zach without leaving the bedroom and going to one of the house phones, which felt impossible at that moment. I quietly tiptoed to my bedroom door to confirm that it was locked, knowing that the lock could be unlocked from the other side with just a fingernail. I knew that if someone wanted to get in, they easily could. I looked around and decided the only safe place to hide was the small crawl-in closet built into the wall of my room. I squeezed inside, shut the door carefully from the inside, and tried to calm myself as I listened. It was at this point that I vividly remember hoping that I was just being overly paranoid and that it actually was Zach. Maybe he parked on the side of the house instead. Seconds later, I heard someone fumbling with the door, trying to get in.
That's not your brother.
Moments later, the door opened. The person was inside my room, and I had no idea who it was or what they wanted. I stayed completely still, listening to footsteps moving around my room, feeling the floorboards creak beneath the weight of someone walking, and hearing things being moved and shifted around. Every second felt like an eternity.
for no reason.
I was terrified that the closet door could open at any second and I could be dead. I still prayed it was my brother, but I stayed quiet, barely breathing and hoping that whoever it was would leave. I could hear them dragging something across the floor at one point, which made me even more nervous. I felt like hours had passed, though it was probably only minutes. Eventually, I heard footsteps receding and moving away from my room. I stayed in the closet for what seemed like forever, likely 2 hours, until finally, I heard Zach calling my name from across the house. His voice sounded urgent and pissed off, and a few moments later, he came into my room and called my name again. I stepped out of the closet, and the first thing he did was yell at me, asking what I was doing in there and what I had done to his room. It was this moment that confirmed to me that it was in fact not my brother who was in the house. I explained the situation as quickly as I could, still shaking and unable to stop my hands from trembling. Once he understood, we both got up and started looking around the house together. That's when we realized how bad it really was. Drawers had been pulled out. Some of our electronics
Yo, they just
were
got
missing,
robbed.
TVs and gaming consoles. It was clear someone had been through the house and had taken things that were valuable. Zach immediately called the police, knowing that this was serious, and we waited together, still on edge, checking doors and windows to make sure nothing else was taken. The police came and made a report, writing down everything that was missing and asking us questions about what happened. They told us they would investigate, and that we should wait for our parents to get home. Around 4 a.m., our parents arrived. My dad was furious and went straight for Zach, smacking him square in the face for being such a careless idiot. Not only leaving me alone, but leaving the front door unlocked. My mom checked on me, gave me a hug, and told me she was just glad I was safe. Zach was
Why would you leave a door unlocked if you were just robbed?
We paid back for all the things that were stolen and treated with extreme caution after that night. I, on the other hand, was not punished at all. I was just shaken up, terrified of what had happened, and the whole experience stuck with me for years. Every time I thought about it, I could feel the fear.
Bro, imagine
all
if they
over
get
me.
robbed once
Remember
again.
hiding in that closet and hearing someone walking around my room, not knowing if I would make it out alive. It was by far the scariest experience of my life, and it has stayed with me even now.
For my substitute yesterday, you have to do a weight room assignment.
That's off topic.
This is where I talk about what
Okay.
I like my first box. If I hadn't already been using them since the beginning of the year.
Anyways,
Skip it.
Chef to you meal
What have
delivery
y'all
service
think
made up
about,
of 70 chefs every week.
Sorry,
my
too.
video is canceled because recording awful. So no reaction in video from me. Sorry, guys. But you will be getting a comeback video from me tomorrow.
What do y'all guys think about this first story? The first story.
I mean, it was pretty good, but the fact that you leave a door unopened or unlocked after being robbed is like crazy. Like,
No. That's how he got in. It was unlocked when he left.
then why didn't they lock it?
I don't know why the big brother didn't lock it, but the big brother kind of
His name is Zach.
yeah, he's something wrong with him.
X'd things up.
Maybe he didn't have a key. Maybe that's why he left it unlocked.
Alright, I also he most likely had a key, bruh.
I mean, I'm just saying it could be possible. I mean, it didn't give us the context of that.
Why would they punish him for keeping not locking the door if he didn't have a key? He definitely had a key.
Yeah, you do it. You make a good point.
But then there is a chance it could also be locked from both locked from the inside.
Or maybe they did a lockpick to get in.
From the front door of a house, from the inside and outside. I mean,
No, I mean, most houses today you can unlock it.
And how do you know that?
oh yeah, you can unlock it from the outside using a key.
Anyways, let's continue.
Here you go. Story 2 by Joey S.
When I was just a child, not even in kindergarten, I lived with my grandparents.
Okay, we have 6.
My mom and dad had just separated, and my dad worked in the next town over, so I saw him every weekend. My uncle, my dad's brother, also lived with us, so I was rarely ever truly alone. I was always told
Wait,
to
is this the
never
same
answer
kid?
the door for strangers. It was a small, peaceful town where everyone knew each other. We had a neighbor who visited often to watch hockey, wrestling, or join family barbecues. I'll call him David. He was friendly with both my grandpa and my uncle. He often drank beers with my uncle and helped my grandpa with yard work or truck repairs. If my grandpa came home with a moose from hunting, he and David would haul it into the shed together. One night, I was briefly left home alone. My grandma
Again?
was at bingo and had called for a pickup. My grandpa told me he was going to get her and asked if I wanted to come. I refused because I was watching cartoons.
Like Bugs
He
Bunny.
reminded me not to open the door for strangers. Then he left. As soon as I saw the truck pull away, the house got quiet. Only a few minutes later, someone knocked at the door. I ran up and asked aloud who it was, and I just heard David's familiar voice identifying himself. I told him that my grandparents weren't home, and he replied that he had just seen my grandpa leaving. I told him my uncle wasn't home either, and he said he had been talking to my uncle on the phone and knew he was out drinking at a friend's place. Then he asked to come in. I told him I wasn't allowed to open the door for strangers, and he insisted he wasn't a stranger since he was our neighbor and someone I already know. In my child mind, he was right, but I didn't understand why he would come over when my grandpa and uncle weren't there.
Bro,
I
imagine
locked
that
the
he
door
robs
and
him.
opened it. David towered over me. He was obviously drunk, swaying, slurring, squinting with one eye. He stepped inside and put his hands on my shoulders as I backed up.
Yo, get off.
I didn't feel
Yeah.
alarmed yet because I had seen my uncle drunk many times. I told him he could wait in the kitchen while I went back to watch TV, but he would not let go of my shoulders.
Let me
Yo.
go.
I tried to pull his hands off of me, but couldn't. His voice changed, filled with anger.
That's because
He
he's
said things
drunk.
that frightened
That's
me,
why.
though I can't remember the exact words now, only the fear that they put in me. He dragged me into the kitchen and grabbed a large knife.
Yo.
He pressed the tip
Oh.
against my belly and asked if I wanted
Nah.
to be stabbed. When I cried,
No.
he told me to quiet down or he would cut my tongue or my throat. He dragged the dull side of the blade across my throat to show he was serious. Then I heard my grandparents' truck pulling in. Car doors closed outside. Relief flooded me, and I was about to scream for help, but David clamped his hand over my mouth.
Yo.
Turned us both toward the doorway just as my grandma entered. Her smile vanished when she saw him holding me with a knife. She screamed for my grandpa to get inside immediately. My grandpa rushed in, yelling in shock and fury as he demanded to know what was happening. He took one look at David holding me hostage and charged forward, shouting at David with pure rage. David shoved me to the floor. My grandma rushed over, grabbed me tightly, and blocked me from seeing what was happening while telling me I was safe. I could still hear the struggle. Eventually, my grandpa overpowered him.
Bro,
When I
imagine
finally
being
looked
overpowered
up,
by a
my grandpa was
grandparent.
shoving David out the door, yelling at him to never come
He
back,
didn't knock
and
him
then
out.
slamming the door.
Come
As I
on.
grew up, I realized David had waited deliberately. He must have known my uncle wasn't home and that my grandma was at bingo. He had seen my grandpa leave. That was his moment. I was too young to understand his intentions. Years later, after my grandpa's funeral, when I was sitting with my grandma discussing memories, I brought up that night and how heroic grandpa had been. She looked uneasy. She said it was truly a terrifying night. She asked if I remembered that my grandpa went out hunting that same night. I faintly remembered him leaving, even though hunting at night wasn't something he usually did, unless it involved camping. When I asked why he left, she claimed she didn't remember much. It got me thinking.
Oh.
They never called the cops to press charges on him, and I never saw him again after that night.
He went.
My grandpa was respected in the community. He was friends with, as well as went to the same church as some police officers, and was known to be a good hunter. No one would ever question if they saw a bloody tarp in the back of his truck, and he was driving out of town late at night.
Oh.
Hunger root is the easiest
Okay,
way to
bro.
eat healthy.
Yeah,
Hunger root is kind of like having your own
He went hunting on.
personal shopper and do
Anyways, I gotta leave, so.
Alright.
So is it okay if we do like a part 2 later? Or like maybe tomorrow?
What?
Maybe like a part 2? Part 1?
Alright, bye, Lewis. Bye, Lewis. We'll finish it without you.
Alright, whatever. I'm posting this like probably tomorrow. Bye.
Alright, bye.